armed forces of Ukraine using TB2 Bayraktar attack drone to destroy Russian equipment left on the strategic outpost on Zamini Island or Snake Island. Russian troops hastily abandoned Snake Island on Thursday, just days after Ukraine's armed forces launched a crippling rocket attack on the outpost, which they claimed was a goodwill gesture. The armed forces of Ukraine helped the occupiers fully evacuate the remnants of their garrison from Ukraine's Zamini, or Snake, Island. The commander-in-chief of Ukraine's armed forces, Valery Zelensky, said this in a Facebook post. With yesterday's airstrikes, the Russians tried to destroy their equipment, weapons and property on Zamini Island. However, traditionally they did not cope with the task. We helped the invaders to fully evacuate the remnants of their garrison from our island. There is no more Russia's spirit there, the commander-in-chief assured. The Russians made unsuccessful attempts to destroy their remaining equipment abandoned on the island to keep it from falling into Ukrainian hands and being turned against its creators. But in the end, the Ukrainian military had to do it for them. The slick video, produced by the Ukrainian armed forces, opens with smooth close-ups of a Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2 drone, which has been so effective in the war. Zelensky said, "The leadership of the armed forces of the Russian Federation does not even adhere to its statements, which declare a gesture of goodwill, in retreating from Snake Island." Two Russian Su-30 aircraft twice launched airstrikes using incendiary phosphorus bombs on Snake Island. At the time, the island is believed to have been uninhabited. The 100-acre parcel of land 80 miles off Ukraine's southern coast was seized by Kremlin forces in the early days of the war but has been pounded by Ukrainian forces in recent weeks in a major offensive involving long-range weapons. Russia's defense ministry immediately tried to paint the retreat as a gesture of goodwill designed to help the flow of grain exports as it confirmed the withdrawal of its troops. But the retreat represents a humiliating strategic blow for Putin in a war that has seen him lose tens of thousands of soldiers and vast amounts of military equipment. The island is highly important despite its minuscule size because its location makes it possible for the owner to control maritime activity south of Ukraine, particularly around the major port city of Odessa. The strategic island has been in dispute since early in the 4-month war when Ukrainian defenders famously told an approaching Russian warship to "go yourself." The success of the Bayraktar TB2 drone may have cooled off since the shift of fighting to the Donbass region in Ukraine. The Russian military has recently consolidated its air defense systems in the area and learned some lessons about the TB2 Turkish-made drone. This unmanned craft has dominated the battlefield by repeatedly blowing up Russia's military hardware behind enemy lines. TB2s were very useful and important in the very first days, stopping those columns, but now that they've built up good air defenses, they're almost useless. Ukrainian troops are limiting the use of Bayraktars to rare special operations and attack missions, said a pilot. The TB2 has been dominant by destroying Russia's infantry fighting vehicles, tanks, towed artillery, multiple launch rocket systems, anti-aircraft systems, helicopters, command posts, supply trucks, and even some naval vessels, according to Oryx. This open-source intelligence site tracks the war. The Turkish-made Bayraktar TB2 unmanned aerial vehicles have proven to be an effective and lethal asset to the Ukrainian army's resistance amidst Russia's ongoing invasion. Aiding Ukraine in its intelligence collection and attacks, the UAV represents the country's defensive edge over the Russian invaders. The TB2 also plays a massive role in another related sphere, Ukraine's information role. Aerial videos depicting the drone targeting and taking out Russian assets have circulated all over social media, contributing to Kyiv's propaganda efforts. While the TB2 plays an instrumental role in Ukraine's defensive strategy, the drone's cutting-edge technology proved its advanced capabilities before the war. The drone has successfully attacked conflicts from the Caucasus to the Middle East and North Africa. The Ukrainians began the fighting with 30 terabytes twos and have lost 8 in combat. But Russian air defense systems are now bunched in the Donbass, creating a missile umbrella to threaten the TB2's previously unfettered access to unique Russian assets. The TB2 must now fly in contested airspace rather than patrolling unchallenged over Russian supply lines. Vikram Mittal of Forbes has recounted what Russia has done to circumvent the TB2. The Russians first shot down a TB2 drone in mid-March. They have had ample time to study the drone and find vulnerabilities. By identifying the transmission frequencies and other electromagnetic signatures, the Russian military can more effectively detect and target the drones. Furthermore, the Russians could potentially jam the control signals to the drone as well, Mittal wrote. Powered by an internal combustion engine, the drone can travel with a maximum speed of over 220 kilometers. It can reach a maximum range of 300 kilometers and can carry up to 300 liters of fuel. The TB2 flies slowly but has ample loitering time and range to find, fix, and destroy targets with its 620-pound payload. It can also collect intelligence and targeting data to help friendly forces destroy targets with fighters or cruise missiles. The Bayraktar may have provided the critical target coordinates to guide the Harpoon anti-ship missiles that crushed a Russian rescue tug on June 17. Has Russia evened the score against the TB2? Not quite. Drones are replaceable. Other countries can donate them to the Ukrainians. Russia will have to employ surface-to-air missiles on unmanned systems that reduce the number of interceptors used against Ukrainian fighter planes engaging in close air support. TB2s can also be used in other operations, such as Snake Island in the Black Sea. The TB2 should not be counted out yet. The Ukrainians may limit their flights over Donbass, but their earlier success has been extraordinary. The defenders may also change their drone tactics by flying lower-risk recon missions that send location coordinates to field artillery units and special operations forces instead of conducting their attacks. The TB2 is here to stay, and it seems Vladimir Putin's forces are afraid of it. The next step for Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is to order more.